Thanks so much for joining us. This is the MeWe Fairs and MeWe Awakening panels. We have a panel tonight. The theme is Elementals, Dragons, Elves, and Norse Fae. We've had events throughout the Northwest for about 6.5 years. And we started doing events online a couple of years ago. Fortunately, we started in January of 2019. So now in 2020, as there's such a need for online events, we have many of them. We have fairs and panels and all sorts of events so that the metaphysical and wellness community has a chance to connect and grow and empower each other. And yeah, lots of notes are coming in from the chat. It's great. Yeah, I love that people are sharing where they are. People come from all over. We also host some of our events in the middle of the night here in the United States so that we can reach people in Australia. So all kinds of people joining our events. It's so much fun. But we've got 7 of us on the panel tonight. Just trying to think of like all the things I need to share with you. There's 7 of us. 6 of us are here right now. And we're going to be sharing about, trying to think, maybe we'll just mix it in tonight. Practitioners, when you introduce yourselves, you'll have about 3 minutes. Feel free to share about yourself and your work, all of your work, as well as what you're going to focus on tonight. And go ahead and talk about the theme when you introduce yourselves. And then we'll be answering questions from the audience. It's free to be here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Australia in the chat. It's free to be here and listen and learn from all that we share. It's a great opportunity to open to your own intuition because you probably have an intuition as people ask questions, and you'll get to see if what arises for you resonates with what the other practitioners see and say. It's possible that something incredibly valid will come through for you that is unique, that's not from us. And if you notice there's some resonance, it's a great way to keep tuning in and seeing that, oh yeah, other people are tapping into the same thing. It's fun for us as practitioners too to discover what we all say, and we get to like kind of ping and dance with each other with all that we whatever awareness appears. What I want to I'll say too that just when we are sharing the panel, I'll share a few things ahead of time, and part of it is that when messages come through for you, you're welcome to maybe jot them down, and but we request that you keep them to yourselves and allow the attention to stay up with the panel tonight as we answer questions. Yeah, maybe we'll just go ahead and get started. I'm going to post the basic information in the chat again. You'll notice Sharon is busy doing her thing tonight. Our panel is interpreted, sign language interpreted for the deaf and hard of hearing tonight. So I'm going to make sure that she stays on the screen because I'm recording. I'm going to make sure she stays on the screen the whole time too for people that watch later. And one of our panel practitioners we'll be working with Sharon tonight. You'll see it's the first time we have someone on the panel. Yeah, it's very exciting. All right, let's see. I'm just going to post everything in the chat. And if you're interested in contributing tonight to help pay Sharon, our interpreter, we would deeply appreciate any donations. Some of the money that we bring in is definitely going to go towards Sharon. And if there's a little more, that would be great. We pay for all of our marketing and all that too. And all the practitioners are here for free. And maybe I'll put it in the chat right now too before you leave tonight. We'd love to get your feedback. If you are willing to leave us your contact info on the feedback form, we will enter you into a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice. Oh, that's what's happening tonight. And as the practitioners share, I'll put their information in the chat so you get all their contact info. And many of us are offering a special tonight as well, so that you have an opportunity to do private sessions with us, either smaller package or a lower price. So you have a kind of an introductory rate for working with us. All right. Well, let's go through and yeah, so practitioners, go ahead and take about 3 minutes to share about yourself, your work. You can share about your special if you want and what you're going to offer tonight in your readings, but then also feel free to discuss all of your work, all of what you do. Who wants to go first? Oh, and most of the practitioners, I think we're all labeled right now. We have a P in front of our name. So in the chat, we're probably, not the chat, but if you open participants, we're typically sorted alphabetically. You can find us all together, and we list our modality in our name so you can see what we do. All right, yeah, practitioners, who wants to go first? I can call on us, but yeah, if anyone wants to jump in, I'll give you that opportunity. Okay, I'm going to call names. Wyatt, do you want to go first? I know you've done this a ton.
Yeah, how did I know?
All right, all right now.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. Anyway, hi everyone. I'm Wyatt. I am a shamanism practitioner and spiritual life coach. I blend the ancient techniques of shamanism with the modern techniques of spiritual life coaching to be able to help you, my client, begin or continue your path of healing. Tonight, I will be offering a 15% off coupon, which you'll be able to find in the chat. You will be able to use that either on the sessions. So I do shamanic healing sessions where I go into the other worlds and in unison with my spirits, I go and extract what no longer serves you, return to you soul essences, pieces, power that should be yours already, and be able to help you integrate to be able to move forward in your path of healing. Another thing that I do is shamanic mediumship, where it is very similar to mediumship, let's put it, but in a shamanic essence where I go in, speak with the ancestors from a otherworldly kind of sense. I pull very heavily from the Norse traditions when it comes to my healing practices, as well as the mediumship. So Seether, it comes in very heavy with this. I also have these wonderful amulets that I make and co-create with you. And this energy is used to be able to, or these amulets are more created to be able to be kept worn within your energy field so you can integrate this energy. It is for anything that you need under the sun. I know I just had a client order for a focus during these finals and be able to have the inspiration to finish out her PhD. So that's kind of exciting. I am connected very heavily with the Norse mythology by blood. So I will be talking a lot about the Nordic Fae, as we like to put it. So the elves, the dwarves, giants, and how they connect. So the light elves, the dark elves, which are really dwarves, and then the giants and how they really all play within the mythos of the Norse mythologies. So it's pretty fun, pretty exciting. I'm super excited you guys are here and super excited to hear your questions and what we can bring to the table for you.
Thanks so much, Wyatt. All right, who else wants to jump in and share? And by the way, our other practitioner can't make it tonight. The internet is not working at her house, unfortunately, with some construction. Yeah, so who else wants to go? I get a call on you if you don't jump in. All right, Marcia, you want to jump in, even though this is your first time with us, but go ahead and take 3 minutes. Let's get you unmuted. Yeah.
There we go. I'm just having issues.
Great, first time.
My name is good. My name is Marcia Colver Reichert, and I see some of my people on here. So hi. I do all kinds of things, and I do pretty much everything I do in a shamanic way, and a lot of it I do through singing. So I use mostly Celtic music, not all Celtic music, but a lot the same tones. Sometimes I use traditional music, sometimes I use more current music, and sometimes it's channeled. So, but I do a lot with fairies, dragons, and off-worlders too sometimes, but mostly the elemental world. So I use them to help clear space, help clear houses, buildings, offices, whatever you need me to do. I will be giving, let's see, $20 off tonight. So if you text me with, text me fairy. I don't know if my phone number isn't listed on here, I can do that, but it is a lot of fun when I do everything that I do. When I give you a treatment, I will sing at least to balance us first and get us into the same space. And then I either go on with a reading or go on with more singing, depending on how much you need in order to get yourself balanced and to allow yourself to let go of some of the trauma that you have. And then we do a soul retrieval piece to that too, where we bring everything, the shards of your soul back in and connect it all back together as it needs to be. I'm not sure if there's anything else tonight, but it'll be fun to answer some questions. I have no idea how long that was either.
Great, thank you so much. I know, it's the first time I'm like, I know you're going early on. So let's see, so Satora or Galactic Ashley want to jump in? Or Thorne? Who wants to go?
I'll go ahead and go. So, hi, I'm Galactic Ashley. I channel divine guidance for star seeds, connecting them to their star families and galactic lineages. I use light language frequencies and work with your cosmic connections to facilitate high frequency healing, transmissions, and encoded activations. I have a very strong connection with the dragons. I do not see them as separate from anything galactic, but one in and of the same. So I believe that stored within our cellular memory are all conscious and unconscious patterns of behavior. And so it is here where the slumbering dragons lie. And our dragon lineages have become to wake and emerge, surfacing into our psyche as the symbols of elements, forces, or principles present or active in the cosmic or pre-cosmic world. This is why I believe that we've been seeing more dragon stuffed animals and more dragon movies and things that are coming sort of online for all of us. But what's happening is that oftentimes they are associated with reptilian consciousness or that which is negative. If you want to think about the serpent, dragons are frequently associated with the serpent energy. But they are here really expressing healing, wisdom, and wrapped in the mythical language and aspects of the natural setting of our global societies. And so they possess a more complex value on the cosmic level, and their being is bringing stability to us. And they are really here to assist their soul kin and open-hearted seekers to assist us in transmitting duality, to help us bring things into balance for us. And so oftentimes when we fear something, the question that they ask us is to look at the fear and ask what within yourself you are afraid of, because that seems to be the true question, because that which is outside of us is really being reflected on what is inside of us. And often that which we are afraid of is really the thing that can oftentimes be the thing that heals us. So I am here to represent dragons. And for those of you that feel very strongly connected to dragons, your family is here. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Galactic Ashley. All right, great. So Satora or Thorne, who wants to go?
Oh,
Go ahead.
so Thorne is.
Or is Thorne going to share?
Hello, everyone. My name is Thorne. That's my name sign. And so I'm happy to be here.
Oh, one moment.
And so I'm happy to be here today for this panel reading. And so I have certain different specialties. I use intuition. I'm an intuitive. I'm empathic, and I'm a magical practitioner. And that's what we involved in my readings. And I also read the tarot, and I'm also a reader of runes. And I'm also a channel. And so I also use energy healing. There's so many different things that are included. And when I work with you, and also I work with the fairies and magic and dragons. And I do a lot of ancestry work. And so there's so many things that I'm involved with. And so I'm really happy to be here. And thanks for the interpreter to allow access for deaf and hard of hearing. Thank you.
That's great. I want to ask Thorne also, maybe could you share a little bit about why you're connected to this theme?
Sure. And so I wanted to share a little bit. And so I've gotten really deeply into working with fairies for quite a while now. And also with elves and with dragons. And mostly connected with Northern European areas, Scotland, different areas like that. Because I have a personal connection with those areas as well. And so when Laureli offered the opportunity to join with this panel, I was quite pleased and excited to join.
Thank you, Thorne. Great.
You're welcome.
All right, let's see. So is it Satora next? I'm trying to think who's also.
Laura, okay. Yeah, I think I'm the last one.
Yep, you and me. Go ahead.
You and me, yeah. Hi, I'm Satora. I'm a channel and energy healer. I channel mostly a group of ascended masters and angels. Currently, I'm very connected with Archangel Michael, personally in my own life. I also have a deep connection with elementals. And for me, elementals is the intelligence, or are the intelligence, the living beings in everything that's alive. And they want me, they want me to bring a message to you. So they want me to speak for them that I think part of the process we're going through and part of moving into this new paradigm and into this new world is that we become aware of our interconnectedness with the invisible, also that we become like the indigenous people, the Native Americans. They are aware of the spirit in nature, the spirit of the earth, the spirit of the water, all these life forces, these intelligences, that we all start to acknowledge them and start to cooperate with them and communicate with them. And each of us can do that in our own way. So I have this connection with a group of elementals. And elementals are energetically closer to the material realm. They're the angels and the ascended masters, and they are very high up, but the elementals, they are very close to the material, and they can help us with our material life, with our health, with our body. A simple example is finding a parking spot. You can always ask them. So I'm not an expert in how they are all called and what different kinds there are. I just know that there is this intelligence in everything. And I want to briefly tell you a recent experience I've had. I've had a real problem with finding a home lately. And I wanted to live in a certain town where it's really hard to find something, especially during COVID. It's very expensive. And it looked really bad. And it was a long process and very stressful. Anyways, one day I drove through town and I suddenly realized there is a being, there is the deva for this town. And I was driving to an occasion where we were still able to dance in person, like, in a limited way, like 9 people with masks on and all of that. So I went to the dance. So I dedicated my dance to this deva of the town and asked her for a place that she please give us a home, my daughter and me, in this town because I love it so much. The very same evening, my daughter forwards me an ad about an apartment. That ad had been there all along and I had overlooked it. And long story short, we ended up getting that apartment, which is affordable, which is the miracle in this town. And it's right where I want it to be. This town has a beach. It's 10 minutes from the beach. And it's like a dream come true. And I know that I call her lady, the deva of this town has helped. She has made a place for us. So every place has a deva, every plant has a deva, every bird, every rock, everything has a living intelligence that we can communicate with. Or even if you have a business or a relationship, there is a being for that too. And we can always communicate with those intelligences in every aspect of your life. And yeah, I think I should stop now, but that's the basic message. Is there is so much help here. They want to communicate with us, they want to be acknowledged, and they want to cooperate in. And it doesn't have to be a special thing. It's just about communicating and asking. And even if you don't perceive anything in particular or don't see or hear anything, it will work. You will notice over time evidence in your life, and all that's required is acknowledgement and gratitude and appreciation in return. It doesn't need to have big rituals or anything, even though those are nice, but just a little prayer, a little, hey, can you help me with this? Whoever is in charge of finding parking spots or big business venture or whatever it is. Okay, thanks.
Thank you so much, Satora. All right, I've been putting all the practitioners' information in the chat, so you can scroll up to see it. And for those of you that got here more recently, I will paste it in here again. Oh, so I'm also a practitioner. I don't know how much I'll share tonight. It's going to depend on what the questions are and what I'm called to share. My name is Laureli Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader. I'm also a body psychology coach, matchmaker, all kinds of different things. Yeah, saying in terms of my eye readings, I think that everyone reads eyes all the time. As soon as we see someone, we just interpret so much about who they are and how they are based on their eyes. A way that you can get a sense of that for yourself is if you imagine when you've met someone with dark sunglasses and you can't see their eyes and so much is missing. And as soon as you see their eyes, so much is there. It gives you a sense of how much it is that you see and how much that you miss. I interpret what we see with a set of archetypes called thrive types, archetypes for thriving. I look at things like your natural talents. Those are definitely big and very correlated with your purpose or why you're here, what you naturally contribute, what you value. I look at your rhythm, how you make decisions, how you communicate, what motivates you, how you protect yourself, and lessons of consciousness. There are lessons in all of these traits, so I'm able to help you get a better sense of your path, where you are in your path, how to love yourself for where you are and make progress on your path, and how to choose people to play with and dance with that are great for you. Oh, for the theme tonight, in some ways I could say like, oh, I don't know, it's not my theme. I was a scientist and I had no idea that I would be doing intuition and metaphysics and hosting all these events, and I had no idea. And I've always been somewhat sensitive. I'm very grounded and sturdy, and at the same time, I'm sensitive. And I know very consciously, I had a colleague years ago that we'd walk along Boulder Creek and she'd be pointing out areas to me and supporting me and sensing and feeling things. I so wish she were on the panel tonight. So just sensing into fairy energy. And I think that I've always been sensitive and noticed like magical space in nature. I lived in Colorado for a while. I lived up in the foothills near the Red Rocks, and there were just some little sections on the path, like there'd be a few little trees, and I just could feel something. And then as other people knew they could connect with the energy, they'd be like, oh yeah, there's stuff here. So I know that I do connect with the energy, and I don't all know of how it plays in my life. I live up here in the woods and in a log cabin, and there's a space kind of behind the other house, and like there's a section with the trees. I just feel something about the energy. So it's here in my work. I'm not consciously aware of how it's in my work. And I love that we're dancing together, and I'll probably know more about all this tonight from being here. Well, yeah, so that's what I do. Then I'd like to jump back into just the basics of the event. So there are the 6 of us that are here tonight, and it's free to be here. And if you'd like to ask a question of the panel, you could ask a question about anything. Probably the practitioners will lean a bit into the theme tonight and answer more from the theme. However, you can ask anything, and we'll apply all of our gifts, that work in the online format in our answers tonight. Yeah, and I think at any question about any topic, we are happy to play with anything. And if we don't get as much from your question, you can play with another question. But we usually get a lot from everything people ask. So it's $20 to ask a question, or it's $10 if you're BIPOC. Just facing our history and supporting everybody to be empowered and make up for just our history of what we've brought in this community. If we have leftover, and also we are taking donations tonight, so specific donations, and then if you choose to purchase a reading, if you want to make an extra donation, that will go to pay Sharon, the interpreter. We're aiming to pay her enough for being here tonight for the whole event. And I'll put the information in the chat again. I think I've got, so it should be, my Venmo should be in here too. You can pay by PayPal, or you can pay by Venmo. And if those don't work for you and you'd like to ask a question, you can also text me. My number's in the chat as well, and I can put it in Square on my phone. Let me see if I'm going to check and see if anyone's already paid for questions and is in line. We've got time here, so we easily can answer. We've got 2 hours, so we can easily answer 6 or 7 or 8 questions during the next couple of hours. And sometimes the person who goes first ends up getting a longer answer, just because we've got time and we don't have a whole bunch of people in line, so going first can be an advantage. And then someone has got in line. Let's go see who that is. Oh, maybe that was a donation. That might be a donation. All right, thank you so much. And I'm gonna go look in Eventbrite and see if anyone else signed up there too, and I'll check my Venmo. And so a personal question. And I got some information. Satora, I'll get that in here shortly. So a personal question. So it's great if you ask a personal question. So something that's deep and meaningful that we can dig into. Of course, keeping in mind that this is recorded and going to be up on the web. And let me also say too, when you ask a question, we may go deeper than you intend for us to go, or we may talk about not the topic you thought we would talk about, but we may go way off over here. And if we talk about anything that you don't want us talking about tonight, please let us know. Unmute and call out, raise your hands, waving, write in the chat. We're here to honor you. So if we do anything in any way that's not honoring you, please let us know. And I mentioned earlier, we believe that everyone's intuitive. And so it's a great way to open to your intuition and practice your intuition to see if what comes through you resonates with what we say. And you may have something totally valid that's new that comes through for you too. But if something comes through for you, you might want to write it down. Often those things kind of float away. And then I request that you hold on to that though until after we've finished answering the questions, or answering the question, all of us. And then if you want to, you might write that person privately and ask if they'd like to hear what came through for you. It's possible that they're full. So please, if they say no, please honor that and know it's not personal. They're just honoring themselves. And there's a third thing I will share. Oh yeah, and I offer to all of you that you stay open to learn from all that is asked and all that is shared, even if you don't ask a question. All righty. Well, let's see. So I don't think we have, I don't think we have anyone in line for a question yet tonight. And so if someone wants to jump in and ask a question, you can let us know in the chat. If you want to ask a question, it's great if you can pay first, but we can always just jump in and get started and figure out payment afterwards with the first person. Oh yeah, discounts. Okay, great. Yeah, Satora's got extra discounts. You want me to get, so I know Satora, I'll get your information in the list in a moment. So if anyone knows they want to jump in and ask a question, now's a great time to start. And if no one has anything, practitioners, we can ask questions of each other too as a demonstration of what we do. So that's always possible. Oh yeah, so please, so I got a message. Oh yeah. Yeah, actually, so someone asked about some general questions, and probably while we're just getting started here, it's fine if you want to just ask some general questions. That's great to do that in the moment while we're just sort of getting going. So yeah, so it's okay. I'm going to read the topic out loud, and then, and I'm not going to even pronounce this right. Are Celtic the same or different from Druids? So if we have open space like this and we're not answering a specific question from someone, I'm great if we just answer some general questions like that. So if you have a question like that, feel free to put it in the chat. And just know the thing that supports us to continue to do the events is if people ask questions. So that'll be great if we do some of that too. All right, so practitioners, you all the experts in this, not me. Yeah, are Celtic the same or different from Druids? Anyone want to say anything about that? Practitioners, go ahead and jump in. Oh, Wyatt raised his hand. He knows how to use the software. All right, go ahead, Wyatt.
I mean, so Marcia is also the Celtic one, so she could probably say more. But just as a quick rule from my own, like, not rule, but my own delves, I suppose. The Celtics were the creators of Druidry, where they brought in this specific understanding of Druidry, I suppose, with the Celtic trees, understanding of the trees, the guardians of the trees, these stone circles, so on and so forth. The Druids were more Celtic thing. But of course, Earth has always been at the forefront of many of the Earth-based religions since the dawn of time. But yeah, okay, Marcia.
You are absolutely right. The Celtic people settled lands from Ireland, clear, I know, into Germany. I believe into Italy and France, but then they kind of got pushed back up into England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. So, but the Druids were their spiritual leaders and still are in some ways. We have groups of Druids that are still going. You can register to be a Druid. You can get readings from different Druids. I have not registered to be a Druid, although I have that in past lives. Most of what I get is from past lives. So, or it's channeled. But yeah, there's, they do a lot with both the fairy energy, the elemental energy, and also with the trees. And I don't believe that's separate either. I believe that if you actually listen to trees, they can tell you a whole lot about our world. And they both have spirits in them that live in and around them, and they also have their own spirit. And then there's spirits of the land, the divas, that they connect with as well. So they are a wealth of information. It's beautiful to talk with them. So thanks for asking your question. That's great.
That's great. And so until someone chooses to get in line with a question, if anyone has any other general questions like that, we're happy to answer them. So yeah, that's free. So if someone has a question like that, you can unmute and ask us, or you can write it in the chat. Anyone have any general questions like that? Well, why don't y'all answer my question while I'm, so you started to talk about that in terms of trees. So like, what is the kind of stuff that I'm sensing? Sometimes it's the trees. I can feel the structure of the trees, but it's the space between them. There's something about like rings of trees or just geometric structures of trees, like the quality of the air, the energy, and just it's different in the middle. Like I just know it is, but I don't know what it is I'm sensing. And does anyone have anything to say or explain that? And then there's another question that's coming in too that will, yeah. So practitioners, anyone? Yeah.
Well, nobody else is going to join in. I sure will. I use circles of trees and geometric shapes of trees for my own kind of healing. I mean, to heal myself. So I will go and lay in the middle of a circle of trees because I know there's a lot of great energy there. The Celtic tradition says that that fairies gather in circles of trees, and they also, sometimes it looks like stumps. So that would be called a fairy ring. And sometimes they use mushrooms too. I just got that. So when I was a little kid, my mom told me never to dance in a fairy ring or the fairies would come and take me. And that's not true because I'm still here. I tried, but yes, they do utilize that kind of energy. Sometimes you will feel air spirits in there as well. And air spirits don't necessarily feel like the wind. To me, they look like smoke that has no reason for being there. And I can sometimes get a face with them, but usually they show up with my physical eyes as smoke. So that's pretty fun.
So I can talk a little bit about trees too. So within shamanism and exactly what I practice too, I am very deeply ingrained and I work very deeply with Mother Earth. But I also work very deeply with a few trees, two of which is the yew tree and the larch. The yew tree is a very grand teacher. Nobody exactly knows its age. And the larch is the only conifer to drop its leaves. So it's kind of interesting working with these two, but what is really interesting is when you come into the presence of a yew tree, you come into this atmosphere of I don't want to say psychedelic, but it's an alkaloid that is very, very toxic, but is also very helpful in curing cancer as well, which the Pacific yew here in Oregon has the highest content of these alkaloids, which they were poached for these alkaloids to be able to be used in cancer treatment, which I love, but also hate because killing the trees and poaching. Yeah, anyway. So coming into contact with the yew tree, it creates this atmosphere, this feeling, this knowing. And the yew tree being so ancient, you don't actually know how old it is. Like a yew tree this big can completely deceive you, and it could be like 300 years old. But also you have like the absolutely ancient ones that are over in the UK where you can go and sit within their cavern. And sitting within this cavern, you can feel and know. And so my understanding is when you enter these trees where nothing has been touched for so long, where humanity is able to just go, or you as a spirit rather can go and linger with these trees, you come into contact with their spirit and their teachings. So I would just sit there and listen to what they're saying. I hope that answers
so
any question.
part of what I get in that is that I can simply ask the trees, ask the energy where I am, and see what messages I get. Great. By the way, Thorne, if there's anything you want to share with any of these, just let us know. Jump in. All right. Well, I know we got a couple other general questions like this. One was specific to you, Wyatt. It says, regarding soul retrieval, could you elaborate? Is this like soul fragment retrieval from our many selves in other timelines?
Yeah, so I actually sent a link. I can put that in the chat too. It's a link to my blog where I talk specifically about this too. But soul retrieval is basically going into non-ordinary reality where time is non-existent. You can live an entire year in 20 minutes in the other worlds, or 20 minutes an entire year. It just depends. So when you travel into the other world and with the intention of soul retrieval, and when I do this for another person, I always have my guide and I go in and we retrieve this healthy essence. So during a traumatic experience, the healthy part of your soul leaves as a way to survive. Within psychology, this is known as Oh, wow. I actually forgot that. Dissociation, thank you, is known as dissociation. So when you dissociate yourself, you leave and you make the conscious decision, whether it's your soul consciousness or your actual subconsciousness or consciousness, you make the conscious decision to forget and to leave the feelings behind. So when I go and retrieve this healthy soul essence, it comes back with certain gifts. And these gifts are then given back to you. And these are also known as your powers. So your powers are given back to you, but also it may unlock certain memories and feelings. And that's where integration comes in, where you either have a work with me or another shaman or a psychologist to be able to help work through these feelings and emotions that are coming up. And when soul retrieval does happen from a past life, like I said, the other worlds are outside of time and space. So, like, I myself have had a soul retrieval from the future, or what we perceive as the future. So my future self is coming back to give me a gift. Whereas I have also had a soul retrieval from past lives back when I lived as a Viking. And I've had a soul retrieval come back then. So it just really depends on what soul essence is ready to come back and what power you are seeking. And usually it is triggered by the intention that you co-set with your shaman, so, or other practitioner. No, a soul retrieval is not a walk-in. A walk-in is a other entity that comes in to complete a job, and this is also in your soul contract, which Galactic actually can talk about that too.
And I can.
Sorry, I was like,
Yeah, I'm going to say about
Go
walk-in.
ahead.
So in the way I do, or the way I think of a walk-in with eyes is so that a person's eyes change when a walk-in happens. And so the way I understand it is that we come here with a purpose. And if something goes wrong and we can't live out that purpose, it's incredibly frustrating. And so it could just lead to probably a lot of depression and suicide and things like that from people that aren't able to live their purpose. And so sometimes what happens though is an agreement is made so that this life still can be, the body can still be used. And so the soul leaves and another soul comes in. It often happens around a near-death experience, but it doesn't have to. And it takes a number of years for the person to integrate because there's the physical experience of memory and there's mind memory, but the soul is in a different place and it's very confusing. So often the soul that's walked in they don't know and they don't understand. So it takes a while for this to all integrate for them to get lined up in this life. And so if I look at eyes of people before and after, I can often see differences. Sometimes there are similarities, but there are differences. And I've done a number of hours of interview with someone that's had it happen. And I know someone that had it happen twice in their life. And I see someone else here thinks they might be. So those are the kinds of things, if you come to one of our fairs, I think we've got a fair this Friday. I usually do samples. You can bring photos of you from before and I can look at you now and I can tell you what I see that's different and things like that. And then, yeah, so that's what I know. Galactic Ashley, great, go ahead. What do you know about all this?
Well, one, I just learned something about you, Lorelei, that makes me so excited because of what I do. I end up with a lot of walk-ins sometimes. So that's really awesome. It's kind of common in the galactic scheme of things for walk-ins to happen, but now I also know I can send them to you for more. That's so cool. I'm so excited about that. If you ever write anything about that specifically somewhere, I would love to share it on my website, actually. Okay, so I didn't even know that. That's really exciting. Sorry, I'm so excited now. I don't know what to do with myself. Okay, so first of all, I want to go back and address the soul retrieval thing. I just want to reiterate yes to everything that Wyatt said, but also keep in mind that these can also be aspects of yourself that are on this planetary plane or any other planetary plane. So oftentimes I feel like people get stuck in only thinking about their soul as being a part of Earth. And so, as far as walk-ins are concerned, I will just add very quickly that oftentimes many people that have galactic type of souls or feel that they're more galactic than Earth-based, even though Mother Earth is always reminding us that she too is a star, is a lot of times it happens when you're younger, and it's always, I'm not going to say always. I have not seen one where it was not contracted in, meaning this. So I have met somebody who was a walk-in, and she actually gave birth to her son, who was the soul that she exchanged for. And when I looked into this timeline, she basically, in many ways, her soul prevented his soul from, because if you looked into the timeline down, he was going to commit suicide because they had a very traumatic childhood. So a lot of times these walk-ins are happening. They are taken very, very seriously in the spiritual realm. And sometimes you might be in a situation where you end up giving birth to the soul that you walked into because they're supposed to come into this lifetime. So while it can be very difficult, there's a sacredness and a specialness to it. And I also understand that it's difficult, but I find that if you can connect to it and have a larger understanding of what's going on, it can make the integration process easier.
Yeah, definitely. The person that I did the several hours interview with, it definitely, like, having a way of understanding what happened, and made it a lot easier for them. Yeah, and the one person I know that had it happen twice, they had it happen once when they were a young child, and then the next time I think was somewhere around their 30s. It's been a long time since I talked to them. But yeah. All right. Great. And Thorne, did you want to say? Yeah.
Has a question.
Oh.
Or has something to say. And so I wanted to add, so with the soul retrieval, and so often it's related to a huge event, or such as an accident, or is something that was really impactful to that person. And so part of the soul can be lost in that situation. It will disengage itself, and then later, okay, and so maybe after a year, maybe, or a month, or a few days, any amount of time, you can register that that's happened. And so the soul retrieval, when you go out and find that soul to bring the part back, you can reintegrate that part of the soul to make the person feel more whole. And also there's an expansion inside. And to have that part reintegrated. And so you don't need to go back into the actual spot where the event happened. And so with the walk-ins, it's a different situation as well. And so walk-ins are related. And so sometimes if a spirit is present and they're feeling stuck and they haven't crossed over yet, and so it might attach to a different person, to their body. So that would be like the walk-in. And so the next person, the person will not know that their walk-in has occurred. And so us who know about that thing, we could notice and be able to let you know that you have a particular spirit around you. And you can we can assist that spirit in moving on as you need. a lot of times people don't realize that they have had that happen to them. And so we're integral in letting them know about that situation. And we can offer encouragement to the person, for instance, through a soul retrieval and things like that. And they can be a part of an encouragement, a group to help them so not to feel alone and feel awkward and things like that. And so we can support them as a community. And often if you're very experienced in things like soul retrieval work, you can do it alone, but I would encourage you to find a person or a group to have support with that situation. And so, for instance, if your energy is needing addressing. And so I can expand on that some more, but I want to respect people's time.
Your sharing is great, Thorne. Yeah, well, we don't have questions. It's great if we all share, and your sharing may have prompted someone else that they want to share something. By the way, someone was just asking about recording, and I'm posting in the chat right now. This will be posted on our MeWe page, and we also have a YouTube channel with, I think I just put a whole bunch of them up on the YouTube channel. So I think all of our past panels are up there and many of our past fairs. And I'll go get a link for that too. Yeah, Galactic Ashley, exactly. New group. Oh, but more people keep joining us. Sorry, my computer is doing something funny. Or I did something funny. All right. Here we go. Yeah, so any more on that question, go ahead. And we have another question also, not a paid question, but another general question. Well, anything else?
It sounded to me, it's my understanding anyway, that a walk-in is different from a soul coming in and inhabiting the same body that you're already inhabiting, and that can happen too. But a walk-in would switch places. So one soul goes back home, the other one comes in, right? This is what I've experienced. And then, but it can also happen that two souls can inhabit the same body at the same time because one hasn't crossed over. Or multiple sometimes, which is really interesting. But I wanted to just add that.
And I do want to add on to that a little bit. So that is a great difference between a walk-in and a I really, really, really don't like the word possession, but I'm going to use attachment, something. So anyway, so an attachment or a possession situation where a being or a soul piece has been attached to your body, or you have stolen, a soul piece. The technique that is used, that I use at least, is called compassionate depossession. And it's very important to be able to throw in the compassionate part there, because depossession is not always something where you have an exorcist and you're like, get out of here, demon. It is not all about that. It is sometimes just, and more likely, it's just like a soul piece that needs to be crossed over, that needs to be given back into the universe to be returned to its owner at the right appropriate time. So in doing so, the compassionate depossession is just bringing out, it's an extraction technique to bring out the soul essence and to help it cross over. So it's using a little bit of death and dying and extraction in there too. But I did want to just say, like, there's a lot of like possession kind of talk. No one actually said possession, but that's what's going on, and it's not negative. please don't say that. It's definitely not a negative thing. It's just a different Hollywood twist, I suppose. But and then there's one other thing that I can't remember. So anyway, yeah.
In my channeling group, we all got around and just screamed, "Possession, possession, possession, possession," to take the power back and get over with the fact of being afraid that something's going to possess us and take over our body without our permission, because it's basically nearly impossible to do that. It doesn't mean you won't attract something maybe very strong, like what Marcia was talking about, but in Thorne. But I just want to say, I'm backing up with Wyatt is saying. We can say compassionate depossession, but not possession. I'm just teasing you, sorry.
All right, great. It's possible we've got someone that has a question. I'm checking right now to see. I'll let you know another general question someone asked, which we might get to later. Oh yeah, okay, so I'm not sure yet, but yeah, so we don't have anyone in line for a question yet. Remember, it's $20 to ask a question of the panel. Probably all or almost all of us will answer, or $10 if you're BIPOC. And then, so we're just answering some general questions right now while we're waiting to see who might have a question of the panel. So let's go ahead and we'll answer another general question right now. So let's see.
Laureli?
Yes.
I wanted to add something to the possession and depossession piece.
Go ahead.
Archangel Michael is also very helpful with sealing your energy field, and also with helping clearing out foreign energies that could be parts and pieces of other people too, other beings. So that there are all kinds of levels of exchange happening. And yeah, I just wanted to add that Archangel Michael, you can pray to him. He will come and help. Archangel Michael and Archaea Faith, which is the female counterpart to Archangel Michael. And they have something called a blue flame that you can put around you that will help. It has the energy of thou shalt not pass, that can help you contain your own energy field. So that's a good one to ask for help in everyday life.
Great, thanks, Satora. All right, yeah, we might have a question in a moment. The general question, and maybe everyone can speak to this just a little bit, is how did we learn and refine our skills? Yeah, so maybe if everyone wants to say just a minute or so on minute and a half of, yeah, how'd you learn and refine your skills? Oh, someone's having, yeah, I will work on, yeah, so I'm gonna work on, someone's gonna be in line for a question right after that too. So yeah, go ahead, practitioners, if you wanna share a little bit. How did you decide to become a practitioner? How did becoming a practitioner decide you? And how'd you learn and open and refine?
I can share a bit on that.
Sure.
Since nobody really knows who I am yet. I started, well, I was a medical transcriptionist for a long time. And I decided that I needed something to get me back out of the house and back with people, and because I worked from home and up off my chair and off my computer. So I started thinking about different careers and actually got bucked off a horse and decided to go, that massage helped me so much that I needed to go to massage school and start helping people. So I went to school. Then people told me in school that I was psychic, and I thought, oh, wow, you're really cute, but I don't have any of that going on. So for years, I argued with people, and eventually somebody convinced me that I actually needed to do readings by putting a stone in my hand, and I could tell her exactly where it came from. And it was her family's castle in Scotland. And I actually got to go there. But I did not, I took loads and loads of training as far as massage, and I actually taught massage as well. I'm a Reiki master, so I went through years of training for that. And you know, after you become a Reiki master, then you continue to train. And but the shamanic work that I do, I didn't have anyone to train me around here. I live in Billings, Montana. And so I learned more of everything that I've put together from this. And the reason I use shaman is because there's no other word in the English language for that kind of covers everything that I do. So it's not something that I was formally trained in. It wasn't something passed down through family, but I also have worked on shamans, and they know that I know what I'm doing. So that's pretty cool. I've downloaded a lot of information through channeling and also through hypnosis. And then I record those hypnosis sessions so that I can listen to them back and find out, you know, exactly what I need to remember from those. And a lot of it is about healing and about the past life work that I did. One particular time I ended up in a void while I was under hypnosis. And I started to panic, and then I realized that I needed to just relax and start to feel. And that's when I realized that in that past life as well that I was searching in, that I came up with all this healing work that I do. I didn't have a teacher then either. So I needed to just relax and allow myself to kind of be a puppet while I work. And that's when and then it was astrology that actually concrete said that I do have psychic abilities and that I should do this for a living and that I am a channel. So it took a lot for me to move into this. I've been a massage therapy or in massage therapy for 13 years. I've been doing psychic work for about 9, but it took me until about 5 years ago to actually have it concrete and know that I know what I'm doing, which sounds a little strange, but that's my earth energy.
Great. Who else wants to share?
Sure, I'll go. Oh, no, Satori.
Sorry.
Yeah, I also didn't set out to be an energy healer, let alone a channel, because even in the spiritual school where I was for a long time, it was not encouraged for people to be channels. And it came to me one day when I did a very dynamic form of meditation. And I'm not a visual person. I attempted to visualize, but it's not my strong suit. So, but in that instance, I saw a hand that was blue that took some tangled up energy that was in a knot and put it into a stream, and it dissolved. The knots dissolved, and it came with the name. I heard the name quantum energetic realignment. And when I came out of that state, I was like, and I heard voices in my head for the first time. And they also told me to do this every day. And then they told me other things I had to look up on Google. And then that's how I knew that I didn't make it up or imagine it, because they talked about things I didn't know anything about. And so, so over time, I found out what had happened and that I was in connection with this group of ascended masters and angels and what the healing is all about. So after the initiation, the information came bit by bit, and I found out what I'm doing. And then I also started talking to them, and that's how we got into channeling. And I later then remembered that it happened about half a year or so after I had asked the universe the question, what's my work here? I want to know what I came here for. But by the time it came, I had totally forgotten that I had asked the question. But yeah. So, and I've always had a very strong connection to nature and specifically trees. And I think that's part of what plays into it and helps me with my connection with the elementals. Or maybe my connection with the elementals helps me with the work now and is underlying my deep connection with tree and nature. It's basically the same. I came into this life like this, but I didn't know. I had to find out. So yeah, it's the short of it. Thanks.
Great, thanks. Okay, Wyatt, you wanted to share a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So I have been practicing researching, trying to figure out anything since I was very young. I think I started researching. Well, first I had a dream about crystals and was very like adamant that crystals were the way to everything since like age 4. And then I actually started to like fall into the understanding of Atlantis and figuring out and spell work and witchcraft and energy work and working with the hands and stars and everything. It was very interesting. And then a few years ago, I was in a should have been fatal car wreck and had a near-death experience. There was a semi right behind me as I hit black ice and ricocheted across 4 lanes of traffic. And I remember very clearly being in the light and hearing a voice basically calling me to shamanism, and that was my shaman's call. So I went and found my teachers, Jim and Roxanne of Sacred Hoop Ministry in Colorado, and they basically became parents for me and were very loving and helped me and taught me what they knew. I progressed, moved forward, and as a little treat to myself, I suppose, for completing my training with my teachers, I went down to Peru and performed ayahuasca ceremonies with a shaman down there, in which I had another near-death experience. I died. I was completely crossed over in the light. It was the most beautiful thing. I did not want to come back. Yet here I am. And so that's a fun thing. I was kind of I don't want to say forced. I was very much, this is your path and we're going to guide you on it kind of thing. This is where you're going to go. So I then became a shamanism practitioner, and I am working with a few other practitioners here to hone my abilities for channeling and mediumship. So it's going to be quite interesting. And then I got my my certification to be a life coach this past year. So I'm able to kind of bring in the logical with the spiritual and help people understand both and to help them progress forward on their path of healing. So that's a little bit about me.
All right, great. I know maybe not all of us have shared yet. I think let's transition to a question. We've got a couple people in line now for questions. So we've got Valerie, and then I don't know if you go by Carol Faye. I'm not quite sure. So we'll find out when it's your turn. All right, Valerie, are you ready to ask?
I am ready.
All right, great. And I got to figure out, make sure that, okay, great. Yeah, Sharon is still showing. Go ahead.
Okay, so my question is, I've been told that I'm deeply connected to the elementals. I've recently discovered that I can photograph fairy portals. I'm still in the process of opening. So my question is really, can anybody sense what my role is in working with the elementals? And in particular, the Fae. I channeled a piece. I don't know if she's Elven or Fae, but I resonate with them. I'm drawn to them, but I'm not quite sure what my role is. So if anybody has a sense of how I'm connected and how I am supposed to work with them, that would be great.
I have a question real quick. Can you put that your drawing up so that we can see it a little bit longer?
I'm going to spotlight you for a moment. Pull it back a little bit so we can see it better, maybe? Yeah. Okay, great. Galactic Ashley, let us know when you're done.
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry. Go ahead. I don't have anything to say right now.
Okay, great. Let me make sure. Turn off the spotlight. Okay, great. Practitioners, it's fine for you to jump in whatever order you want. Trying to think timing. Yeah, so we've got time. So go ahead, We've each got several minutes to answer. Thorne, if you want to go ahead, go first. Yeah.
Is it possible? So this is the interpreter. This is interpreter. Is it possible to make the image bigger to see?
What image? Do you want to see Thorne bigger?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, yeah. So you can. I think I can spotlight Thorne for everyone,
Okay,
or you might be able to pin Thorne on yours. So if you
okay,
hover over
perfect.
Thorne and pin.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead. Sorry. Okay, so I want to say I grew up with the religious background. And so it wasn't until I was, well, the first time I was about 22, maybe 23. And then a lot of things happened in my life at that time. And lots of things were just building up at that point. And so as the years progressed, I'd met a person. I thought they were a sweet person. We really became friends. And that was at that time. And so they had given me their tarot card, their tarot deck.
Is he speaking about himself?
Yes, I'm talking about myself.
Okay.
And so I wanted to give a quick summary. And so that tarot deck, they had given me this tarot deck. There was no book or anything that came with it. It was just the cards themselves. And so before then, I didn't have any idea about what to do with tarot or anything like that. And so they gave me, and I was thankful for it. And so I was working with it. And then once I developed a connection, I knew it was kind of talking about my history. And so I was just kind of learning about the tarot deck, and I wound up giving that to a different person. And then when I looked back, I realized that there was so many other tools to use. And so I started working with natural energy, with trees, with fairies, with different kinds of modalities. And so I just wanted to give a quick summary about how I arrived to where I am right now. Meeting people, studying, developing my skills, talking with other people, and I would take them into myself, and then I would kind of create create a formula for myself. Thank you.
I have a question for Thorne, kind of to just carry on that.
Okay.
So Thorne, are you making the connection that maybe for Valerie, that it could be a similar process? Is that what you're suggesting?
Connect. And can I understand the question again? I mean, can I hear the question again?
Yeah, I can say some of it. So in here, let me post it in the chat too. This is what I wrote. So Valerie said, I've been connected to the elementals. I can photograph fairy portals. What is my role working with them? I channeled in art
Okay.
sheets. Yeah.
Okay, I got your question. And so I can check, can I connect in with your energy for a few minutes?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so I'm picking up on a few different things. The first thing is, so I'm feeling that your connection with the elementals, with fairies, with elves, and so it's more about that. Can you please repeat? So I'm sorry, the interpreter's fault. So one of the reasons that you're feeling connected with the fairies and the elves and elementals is because you're learning more about them through their interactions with you, with them. And so they want to connect with you to show you and then secondly, and so they want you to learn more about yourself. And so how you take that energy in. And so they're helping you learn more about yourself and so that you can express yourself more in the world. And to share your skills and share your visions and share your artwork in your own personal expression. So it's really up to you how you express yourself and how you want to make your grow your role in the realm of the fairies and elementals. How you're keep being curious, keep studying, keep connecting with them.
Great. Thank you. And Valerie, if you had any particular question about that, go ahead and ask Thorne, or we'll go on. I know Satora's got more to share.
No, I think that was good. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, great. Satora, go ahead.
So the first thing I want to say, when I saw that picture, my impression is it looks like you. It's the same. It's like an aspect of you.
It it was actually done purposefully because I do feel a connection. So I used my face to fashion it, but it when I paint, I channel. So it was partially spirit coming in and partially my own intentions.
So this drawing, this artwork is a wonderful place for you to focus on and use it as a portal for yourself. I think I'm going to transition into channeling now. It's somehow happening. For yourself to connect with these aspects of you that are wanting to come out and play with you. This connection, this realm, these beings, there is an aspect of you that is deeply rooted in this realm, and it wants to come and be integrated into you, into your live stream here on this earth in this life. And it brings to you, we suggest to you that you see it as an opening and look for the gifts it can give you rather than the work you do with it. The work will naturally evolve out of the connection. It will, in this flow, it will arise and it will become clear to you what it is that you can share here. The start for you is, what are the gifts? These beings bring into your life sweetness and playfulness. And that is something for you to explore and to enrich yourself with. And to just be open and enjoy. Be playful. Forget about the work. When you go through these fairy portals, when you approach one, put aside your work. In front of the portal, lay it down. Your work attitude, anything to do with work, lay it down. Step through and just be open and play and enjoy and receive the gifts. Because coming into the flow, it is important to be open and receive, and new things will grow out of it. New creativity will come through you. And in this playfulness and sweetness, work will happen, but it will not feel like work. You will not think of it as work. So in this connection, there is a great gift for you. And that is what we suggest that you look for first and foremost, and be open and receive and play and explore. And everything else will grow from there.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Satora. All right, Galactic Ashley is in line.
Okay, so the first thing that came through is that it is not because of your allegiance with I'm just going to call them fairy beings, but they're going to get into that in a second. It is not because of your allegiance with the fairy beings that you are channeling fairies. It is that you have always been aligned with the fairy beings. That this is and was your soul signature, bringing you to that energy. So, of course, when you channel, to remember when you're channeling these images, to remember also that this is your filter, and to remember to keep your power. But when I connected with that being, because that being that you drew, she came through and said that she is an aspect of you. She was identifying herself as the new star fae. So this would be a far future, or we can call it an ancient future fairy that is from the new earth. And to me, the new star fae, when they came in and introduced themselves to me first, are from the Enlightenment hybridization program that went with very powerful inner earth beings that have ancient fairy roots, like from the past. And so they are part of the new earth. So they have galactic, they took beings that are galactic that have kind of wings, and they merged them with this fae race, and that these beings are a part of the new earth. So to me, that's who she is, and she is connected to all of this fairy energy that has been coming through. And so they were saying, if you look at all of your life history, who you have been and what you have done, the soul signature, like, is all over your life. So basically you're going to go you're on this precipice of an experience where all of this information is going to start coming through, and you can call this an act of remembrance. So I would absolutely take that image that you drew and to keep drawing more and to keep channeling more, and then to look at them and connect with them, because that in and of itself is the way that you are connecting. And from that, you will, I feel like your vision is going to be opening up, and there's going to be a lot of power that is coming through. And it brought in a lot of emotion, because what the gift is and what's been coming through is that as the earth transitions, you are going to have access to a very deep understanding of what is happening in the fairy realm or in this inner earth realm, because very deep transitions are happening multidimensionally within this earth plane that many of us are not aware of. And to remember that, like, the fae, there's some real powerhouses. It's not just sprites and fairies that are flying around, but they are very important too. But I mean, when I see these beings, they are presenting themselves like there are staffs, they are big, and they are like, we are here. So.
Wow. I was trying to take notes. This is recorded, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll be able to go back and, because you just spit that out like,
Yep,
wow, thank you. That's amazing.
Go ahead, yeah, if you want
There's
to.
so much emotion with that drawing that you did. Like, I just wanted to start crying when I connected with it. So there's a big heart opening. I would put that drawing next to you when you sleep.
Well, she is over me on my wall.
Cool.
Awesome, thank you. That makes me really happy.
Yeah.
Great, yeah. Other practitioners, whoever else wants to share, go ahead. Share with Valerie.
I would love to. I agree with everything that both Satora and Galactic Ashley said. The first thing that came to me is fairy interpreter. So we need more people talking about the fairies and speaking their language. They want us to know things now. They're not secret.
I don't know if this has anything to do with that fairy in particular. Is she fae or she an elf?
Oh, to me, they're in the same realm.
Okay.
But yes,
so,
she's very elfin. Yes.
So I've been spontaneously speaking light language when I wake up for about 6 months now.
Nice.
So does that have something to do with her?
Yes. It's her language. Oh my goodness. So I don't even really need to tell you about wings and how to amplify this energy, but do know that when you feel down at all, you can fluff up the wings that you have, because you have them. And there's your connection to the other side. So if you feel disconnected, make sure you fluff those up, make yourself nice and big, open up your heart, because those wings do open up your heart, and allow yourself to really connect, and you will feel better, your life will go better, everything will go better.
Right. And I recently found out I have a dragon too, so I'm trying to figure out the dragon's piece.
Beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. Her name's Kashana.
Wow.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
So I mean, all this stuff is like building, and I know there's going to be a break at some point where I'm going to start understanding what's happening. But I'm so glad I caught on to this panel tonight. Thank you.
Yes. I'm so happy for you. When I get to talk about fairies or channel fairy energies, it's very, very exciting for me and playful. Like Satora said, it's so playful, so much fun that you don't even feel like you're working ever. But you can do a heck of a lot of healing work when you're tapped into all that too. So know that. Just you speaking light language in their language would be healing for people, because of the vibration that holds. It's beautiful. Congratulations, and I'm so excited.
Thank you. I want to say that Galactic actually might have something else to say about light language. And I want to say to you, you keep using the words, something about like figuring this out or understanding this or getting what it is. And I want to encourage you that that's not what this is about. This is about you accepting. There's some ways you've accepted. And then part of the big thing here for you to accept is that there's no knowing. There's always this discovering and exploring and contributing and refining, you know, and like taking risks and getting feedback. And that for me, that's what opening to intuition is, and opening to our gifts is. There isn't a clear knowing in that way. It's different. And I think all of us in our own ways have had that experience. And so it's just you simply coming to a place where you say, I am. And you might feel nervous and uncertain and just, I am, you know, this is what I do. You know, I'm doing this thing. And what you understand it is can evolve and change over time. And like, this is what's coming through me. And
Awesome.
I'm so happy that you said light language. I didn't say anything because before I channel anything, always light language comes through, but there was a lot of light language. And so I think that's awesome. I'm just going to read a really short thing that I actually wrote for my channeling group the other day. And this is actually from the dragons. So they just said, in order to channel, you are being asked to embody unconditional love paired with the frequency of truth. So consider this, your fear is not of accidentally channeling the devil or anything negative, but rather your fear is actually the terror of allowing yourself to fully experience love and all that you truly are. The devil is merely an illusion manifested in the form of an excuse, causing resistance that you created in order to avoid claiming your sovereignty. And sovereignty is basically recognizing and accepting that we are divine, we are self-mastered, and we are sovereign, and we are free. And true freedom is when we live freely from the influence of others.
Awesome.
So I'm backing up what Laureli said.
Does anybody know anything about the Sophia Code?
Yep. I haven't read it, but I'm aware of it.
I just finished it not too long ago, and it had 8 initiations in it, and the last one was interfacing with the golden dragon.
Yeah.
So
I just know there's dragons in it, and the author is cool, but I have not read it.
Yeah.
Great. All right, let's see.
Thank you.
Yeah, any practitioners, did everyone share? Does anyone have anything left? And Thorne keeps popping out, unfortunately. Okay, great, Thorne's back. Yeah, the internet is being challenging tonight. All right, great. Thank you, Valerie, so much for your question, and thank you, readers. Yeah, and this is recorded. I need to upload it. It's a big file, so I go down to my friend's house who has faster internet, so it might be another week or so before I get it up. I will get it up. If you need it sooner, I can get it like not fully up publicly, but I can still get you a copy of it, Valerie, so let me know if you need that. Okay, you do want that? So make sure I have all your, I have your contact info. Okay, yeah, great, okay.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. All right, let's see, so Carol Faye Laird, Carol or Carol Faye, I don't know what you go by, you are next. Where are you? Oh, you're not on sound, so we can't hear you. Something's not working with the microphone. You know, I could, if you need to, we can talk by phone and I can just put my phone on speaker. So that would be an option. Okay, you'll go out and come right back in. Yeah, let's do that and see if that fixes it. Anyone that has trouble with Zoom, that sometimes works. And I guess I'm going to invite, so Rena Faye is here. I think that's your last, that's the name, right? But so Rena's here. And I had invited her, I think, to be on this panel, but it wasn't going to work. And I'm just wondering if she could introduce herself and say what she does. She's one of our practitioners also. And she's just so perfect for this panel. So I wanted you to all know who she is and what she does. And she's going to be in other events too. Did you want to just introduce yourself briefly? I know it's really late out here.
Yeah, sure. It is really late. It's 10 past 11 where I am. I'm in Maine. And hi, everyone. My name is Rena Faye. And I just wanted to tune into this panel because, well, I just want to tune into anything that's Faye because I am Faye. And I just like to hear the discussions and make new friends and join in on whatever anybody's talking about with Fae. And I am a Celtic fairy shaman and fairy incarnate. So everything that I do is with Fae. I work with them every day. They're my companions. I do healing work, astrology. I do many things, but mostly everything I do is with Fae, even in my everyday life. And I'm just really excited to be here and to say hello to you guys. And there's some new faces that I don't know, and so that's really exciting. I've undergone a lot of changes in my life, so over the last month I haven't really been working as much because I just went through a big move. And I'm all the way up in the Mount Washington, raised there, and I have worked with the fairies here in the forest, the White Mountains, excuse me. And so I've known the elementals and the Fae beings up here for all my life. And I'm just really excited about just getting back into my work now. And yeah, I would have joined this panel, but things were a little crazy, like I said. And so I was just really excited to come and say hi tonight. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's great that you made it to just jump in for a little while, and I look forward, we'll plan another one with a related theme and we'll have you again. All right, great. All right, let's see. So
can you hear me this time? No, you can't hear me again.
We can hear you
me,
now.
Lorelei?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't have the little yellow thing around me, so I wasn't sure you can hear me.
Yeah.
It does that sometimes when I'm on too long. Okay, so my question is, well, I know my name literally translates to singing knower, lady of the land, and I am Celtic Druid heritage. I've seen things all my life. I've seen trolls in closing doors in rocks in Arizona and New Mexico. I've seen the Loch Ness Monster. I have a friend that's a Sasquatch up in Canada. I've seen many elementals. I have a picture with a fairy in my hand, and they're not Disney cute, believe me. Why, what am I supposed to do with all this? Am I supposed to write a book? Do I tell people? But most specifically, will the hidden people in Iceland ever forgive me? I pissed him off one time. So.
That's a great question. Thank you so much. I'll just put it in the chat so anyone can get a sense of what that is again too. And practitioners, I've got that doc where I've got things also. Great. And there might be a typo in there or whatever, but it gets across the big thing. Yeah, so practitioners, whoever wants to go, jump in. Wyatt, go
ahead. So what do you want to do with the information? It's not about what we should say you should do.
Well, and see, that's just it. I don't know. I do so many other things. I am a medium. I am a teacher. I'm an international medium, intuitive. I do so many things. What is this elemental portion? Is that more important than the other? Do I follow that because it's my heritage? I am a huckily, which is a Chinook jargon word for a wise and well-trained person that can teach many things to many people. So an equivalent to a shaman. So I've done this all my life. I was born seeing spirit. But the elemental thing is something I haven't done a lot of. I see them everywhere. I see lots of stuff. What do I do with this? Do I share? Do I keep it to myself? I mean, it's on the internet now. Hello, everybody. But, you know, what do I continue with this with?
Okay. So you're already doing so much. Why do you feel like you have to share it with the world? Why can't it just be your own spiritual belief, your own spiritual practice, something to help you and make you feel at home?
Well, and that's what I was trying to figure out. Is this something I am supposed to share, or is this just personal? I mean, I've shared it now on the internet, but
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really go into too much more, but I do want to like just create that provocative mind sequence of like, you don't have to share it with the world. It is your own spiritual belief. It is something that connects with your heart. So as long as you're happy and it's something you believe in, I mean, it is out there. Knowledge is out there. And if you come across someone who wants to know what you know specifically, then it's up to you to decide if you want to pass on the wisdom or not. And as far as the hidden people in Iceland, what did you do?
well, I had spent 5 hours in the Blue Lagoon, which is the lava lagoon, and I do have some asthma and COPD issues, and I didn't have any tissue in the car, and it loosened up a lot of stuff. And actually the hidden people were letting me take pictures of them with a brand new camera, and I had some phlegm I needed to release, and I had no tissues, so I opened the door and spit on the road, and my camera stopped working, and all the pictures of them disappeared. And like they say, 80% of the people in Iceland believe in the hidden people, or at least don't do anything to piss them off just in case. Well, I pissed him off, and I didn't mean to. I apologized right away. I mean, when I realized what I'd done, it's like, oh, that wasn't so good. So will they forgive me? Will they show themselves to me again on my next trip?
I feel like they may. And only because you did learn your lesson and they gave you the reciprocity that you gave them in the time. So everything is now equal. It's a blank slate. That's my understanding.
Thank you. I got spirit sparks with that. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Who else wants to share? And I'm going to text Thorne. I know Thorne is having internet trouble again, I think.
I would love to share.
Go ahead.
So there's a lot of people who believe, and especially in Ireland, Scotland, Iceland, that the Fae have been vilified, for a long time. And so really connect yourself. I mean, in order to reconnect with people in Iceland, really connect, right? I'm saying that correctly. Okay. Really connect yourself with them. You've seen them. Know that you can do that. I know you can, but allow yourself to. Don't be afraid of whatever comes up. I know that you're going to get people put in front of you that you're going to want to tell about the Fae. And you'll get urges to tell them about the Fae. And I'm surprised that you haven't done it so far, because you are so connected to them. It's as soon as I saw your face, I went, oh. And if you do this all over the world, I'm really surprised that you haven't been called to share that with other people.
This is the first time I've admitted it to many people. I mean, there's a few that know, but.
Okay. So is that some kind of a belief that you have that maybe they'll go away if you talk about them?
No, I just have been watched before. No, just, I don't know what I'm supposed to share. I don't know if it's just for me, like Wyatt said, or, like I said to him, or also, I do so many things. I don't know if this is an integral part of my own being or if it's part of my teachings. And yes, I'm a laird. That's Lord of the Land or Lady of the Land. I know fairies. I know, I've seen them all my life, but again, do I share or do I keep it to myself? Do I?
Well, you can do whatever you feel called to do. That's my suggestion.
Okay.
But I think that you're going to be called to share it more and to educate people about it, because there's a lot of people that think it's still fantasy, you know, and they're immersed in it, and yet they're guarding against it. So like, I know people in Tennessee that live in the hills up there, and you know, they're just teeming. but until somebody in authority tells them that it's okay to believe that they're connected like that, they think they're crazy. You know, so we don't need any more people thinking they're crazy. We've got plenty of those. And we, you know, once people understand that somebody does believe them, and that they, you know, they're verified in some way, they feel a lot less crazy, and they start acting a lot more normal, you know. So we don't have this energy of, oh my God. We can relax into the world because somebody has told us that it's okay to do that, you know. So I think that yeah, you're going to be called to do more of that, and I think it's fantastic that you can.
Thank you.
But I wouldn't push it either.
All right, thank you.
Great. I'll just jump in with one small thing. So when I look at you, just the energy of you that I get too, and I know this is a big general category also, is witch. Do you identify with being a witch?
I actually have relatives that were burned in Salem, so probably yes.
Yeah.
I not witch per se, but yes, I am religion of the earth, yes.
Yeah, so I feel some of that energy too. And it's, and so when you say keep it to yourself, do you mean, are you asking like whether you need, there's simply sharing, and then there's sharing the gifts and having it be of service to others. And so,
and that's what I'm trying to figure out is, do I write a book? Do I do classes? Oh, and I would like to add that my friend Sassy, the Sasquatch, wants everybody to know that they are body proportionate. They do not have big feet. They are body proportionate. They prefer to be called Sasquatch and not Bigfoot. Sorry, she's yelling in my ear.
it's great. Yeah. So for me, this clearly seems like this is coming through for you to be of service, not just for you to like have it all in your space. Like your energy is very extroverted, and like I just say you have some of that priestess energy in your eyes. And so it's about being of service and wanting to uplift others and inspire others. And my sense is that you have a lot of opinions and ideas, and there are lessons for anyone that has this talent with learning how to share and when to share and who's ready and all that. But yeah, it definitely seems like there's something here for you. And it's, I mean, for me, this is just my sense of fairy energy too. There's a bit of a hee kind of, and so yours, like the hee getting away with something kind of thing, like in a playful way, and your energy has a serious flavor of that, where that's just so much there. So of course you're here to impact others with that. That's what arises for me.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, who else wants to? Galactic Ashley, I'm guessing, yeah.
This will just be really short, and then Satora can go. I just want to piggyback off of what Lorelei was saying when she asked about the witch question, because what I was seeing was something about being burned at the stake, right? And so we can say, oh, big whoop, right? Like we know about it, but that doesn't mean that we don't have within our cellular structure or that we don't have DNA or ancestral healing that needs to be done. So if you're really facing and feeling resistance to sharing something, you could be embodying ancestral trauma that needs to be healed and to come out. And so I would look to the beings that are showing up as part of your healing journey. And then if you feel after that is done that you wish to share, which would only add to the story that you are telling, that might be a good idea.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I want to go back to what Wyatt said. What do you want to do? And the message I'm getting is very similar to before Valerie's answer. Just ask the question, how does it serve you? What's the gift in it for you? And how can you use it for yourself? How can you use that connection for yourself, and how does it serve you? And naturally out of that, it will be more natural for you to find out what you want to do with it, and if you want to share it and how you want to share it. But the emphasis, your focus, the invitation is to open up and ask the question, how does it serve you, and what are the gifts in it for you, rather
Thank
than is this my job or not, or how would that be my job? And then it will naturally follow out of that.
Thank you.
Great. Does anyone have anything else to share? And Thorne, I just put the question where we started back in the chat again too, so you can see it. Yeah, Thorne, so I think you might be the only one left if there's something you want to share. Oh, Thorne might be frozen again. It might be technology being challenging again. Sorry about that.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right, so if Thorne makes it back in, Thorne will have an opportunity to share too. All right. Frustrating technology. All right. Well, let's see. So I don't think we have anyone else in line, and we have time for one more question. We're going until 9 p.m. Pacific time tonight. Oh, Thorne's back in. Let's see if Thorne. So Thorne, if you have anything that you want to share with Carol Faye, you have an opportunity now. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so Carol Faye, are you still there? Great.
Yes.
Go ahead, Thorne. Oh, but okay, yeah. I'm having trouble seeing Thorne well, unfortunately. Okay. Sharon might be needing to clarify a few things before speaking, everyone. That's
All right, so Thorne is really choppy. Okay, so okay, I think you're okay. Yeah, go ahead. So for Valerie, I just wanted to let you, okay, we're frozen again.
I know. Sorry, everyone. That's frustrating. We got to figure out getting Thorne hardwired in next time, maybe.
Okay, try again. You froze. And so I would like to offer about the hidden folks. I would say give them gifts, maybe beer, alcohol, something that they might like. Let them know that you're interested in connecting with them again.
We just wait for Thorne to unfreeze. Yeah. Thanks, everyone, for your patience.
We should call it voguing.
Mm-hmm. It is. And Sharon, yeah, if Samuel was saying something you wanted to, I think it looked like Samuel was talking too.
I was just saying that that Thorne was still
Oh,
frozen.
Thorne is back.
Thanks, Samuel.
Okay, let me. Let's see.
Let Thorne know that you're all set, maybe. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I can't see you now. Okay. So to get connected with the in northern Europe there.
Nope, we froze again. All right.
Thank you anyway.
Yeah. Thanks, Carol Faye. I know. And thanks to Thorne. I know we want this to work. So I think we need to figure out getting Thorne hardwired next time, or yeah, gotta figure out like what internet Thorne has. We gotta work on this. All right, then Thorne is scheduled to be in another panel coming up too. Let me see which one. It might be Divination coming up on December 11. Oh yeah, we will work on that. Maybe this is a great time I'll just share. So we've got, yeah, Thorne might be able to type. It's slower, but oh, Thorne is back for a moment. Oh, Thorne is probably frozen again. All right.
He's typing in the chat.
Okay, great. Yep, great. Okay, so Thorne's going to type. Great. All righty. Oh, yeah. So I was going to say, so upcoming events, just and we've got space for another question if someone else has another question. So our fairs have about 16 different practitioners. We introduce ourselves and then we answer a few questions from the audience for free as a sample, just brief answers. And then the practitioners all split into breakout rooms and they offer lots of free talks. And they have conversations about their work. They probably give you some free samples, and most of them are available to do sessions right in the fair in private breakout rooms. So you can do totally private sessions. And we'll go back to Thorne's comments in a moment. And we've got another fair coming up this Friday, December 4, from 4 to 8 p.m. Pacific time. It's jointhefair.com. So you just join us anytime during those hours. If you come during that first hour, that's where you get the intros and the free samples. We've got a panel coming up on animal communication and healing on Sunday, December 6th from 2:30 to 5 p.m. Pacific time. And then December 11th, we have another panel, Divination for Discovery on Friday. Yeah, so December 11th at 6 to 8:30 p.m. And then we have a fair in the middle of the night for those of you that are awake in the middle of the night. So December 18th, it's Friday. So like Thursday night, Friday morning from 1 to 4 a.m. we will be awake. And then we have another fair on Saturday, December 19th, 4 to 8 p.m. So just so you know, that's all coming up. I'll put that in the chat in a moment, but let's go back to Thorne's comments. Maybe I'll go ahead and Sharon, how do you want to do this? Do you want to?
I can read it. So the nature spirits need to be recognized. Also for Fae, they can be a bit mischievous, so it's important to remember that it is never a direct resolution. There might be a roundabout way of working with them, and it depends on which fairies of the northern space.
And Galactic actually added the Norse and their libations. He, he, he. Ah. And so Judith, let's see, it says there's anything. Yeah, I know. So Thorne is like in and out right now. So Carol Faye, that's for you in the chat. So just that we just spoke. So I hope you get that too.
Yes, I read it. Thank you.
Great, you got it. Okay, great. And then Judith Wallace, you asked a question that looks like it's that's a specific question for you. Did you want to ask a question of the panel and then it's $20 or $10?
Yes.
What's that?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you haven't paid on PayPal yet? Did you or Venmo? Is there
I will.
What's that?
I thought I'd lose Zoom if I tried to do it before it was.
Okay, sure. Could you give me just you could private text it? Could you just private chat some of your contact info for me so that I can make sure we can get connected afterwards in case
Sure.
Right? Great. And then yeah, you can go ahead and ask and we'll after that. Great.
Do you want my phone number? Anything else?
Yeah, your phone number, your email would be great. If you can put it in the private chat.
Lorelei, I gotta leave.
Oh, Satora,
Bye,
Sora, could you just say briefly? So just say again what you do and where people can connect with you on the web, and I'll put your contact info in the chat.
Yeah, I'm Satora. I'm an energy healer and a channel. I'm mostly channel and I do energy alignment sessions to help you align with your true essence and with your heart's desires. And you can reach me at freesatora@gmail.com. It's in the chat. Oh, right. If you see the video, you can't see the chat. So it's freesatora@gmail.com. And I have 30% off is my special for this event. Thank you all. Happy holidays.
Great. Thank you so much.
Happy Faye. Bye.
Bye. All right, great. And then Judith. So Judith, feel free to jump in and ask your question.
Okay, I get voices coming through me all the time, and I don't know what they're saying. I get kind of frustrated because I'd like to know what they're saying. Is there any way to, and I ask them and they don't help.
So you ask them and they don't answer at all, or the answers they give are not helpful? Which are you saying?
They're in the same foreign languages that I don't understand if they're answering me. I have no idea. So I'd ask them, I'd like to know what you say if you're going to come through me talking all the time.
Great. Yeah. Tricksters. All right, let's see. Well, so let's see if some of the other specialists will, they have something they want to share first. And by the way, I can't see your eyes very well. Is there any way that you can like get a little closer to the camera or tip the phone or whatever you're on just a little bit?
Does that help?
Yeah. You're a little backlit, but okay, yeah, that gives me a better idea. Thank you. Maybe I'll just make just one comment. I'll say that you have a lot of very grounded, practical energy. I imagine that you have a huge heart. There are more people coming in. I imagine that you have a huge heart and you care about people deeply, but you also just have a very grounded, practical energy. And there's a part of you that just is very serious. And so a part of you is wanting it to be more literal than it is. And I think that's part of what's getting in your way. That makes some sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like there's you can be earthy and be able to dance and be able to play. And there's your path in this life isn't particularly a playful path. However, some of the lessons of the parts of you that have been so serious, they have lessons of lightening. And it just seems like there's a request for you to let some of this heaviness go and let yourself lighten a bit and dance a bit with the solidness that you are. And through that, you'll discover a meaning. That's just
lighten up.
Well, but it's lighten up in a like dance with not knowing. Get more comfortable dancing with the mystery. Know that it's okay that it's uncertain and unclear and that you don't know.
Oh, okay.
So there's subtle intuitions that you'll have about what it might be, not necessarily what it is. That might be a little too like you don't know kind of thing, but just what it might be, and to just follow and play like these little curls and wisps of like what it might be, and you'll find your way there. That's what, yeah. So far.
Thank you.
All right, who else? And that would be one of those examples for me where I have no idea where that really comes from. I mean, there's a little bit that I can sense, like you've got some warrior energy in your eyes, but like a whole bunch of what I said, like I have no idea where that's from. So that's just, I'm doing that dance right now.
Okay, thank you.
Practitioners.
I'll just go ahead and say something really quick. So basically, you're having voices that are coming through, but the voices are coming through and not English, and you're asking them to you're asking them to show themselves to you or to speak back to you. Have you said, show us who you are?
Tell me what you're saying.
Okay.
I'd just like to know what they're saying.
Right. So I would try other ways, and rather than tell me what you're saying, say, show me who you are. um, or let me feel who you are, and try some of your other clairs out. Also, if they are coming in and speaking another language, is it possible that that language is light language? And if it's light language, then you can tune into that language. And if there is fear in connecting, then that will create resistance. But if when you tune in to that energy makes you feel good, it doesn't feel heavy or dense, and you can set the intention to have any information that comes through be loving, supportive, and empowering, then you can probably allow yourself to connect a little bit more, because they might be doing, I mean, I'm going to also piggyback on what Lorelei said, because they're wanting you to do this dance in between the linear self and the metaphysical world. They might be challenging you to come in a little bit deeper and to tune in and to listen to something that makes no sense. But if you gave yourself permission to experience light language, I believe, and I have been taught, that that is one of our most powerful healing tools that we have. So some of your resistance may be to connecting to something that's very powerful, which seems to be a theme for the evening.
Yeah. You know, I've been told that I'm only here less than half the time, but I have no idea where I go or who I'm with or what I'm doing. So I don't know if I'm with them somewhere else most of the time, or it's very confusing when all I get is different voices coming through.
Have you heard light language before, like different flavors of light language? Because if you haven't, I'm just wondering.
I've heard Galactic Ashley
Okay.
when she speaks light language.
Yeah, great. I was wondering if she'd give us a sample if you hadn't heard. Great.
But I'm totally open to what they feel safe, and like we're friends, yeah, like we know each other, but I just would like to know what they're saying. But I'll try to lighten up more.
You can try and let them come through you so that you speak as them and to speak the light language. And then when that happens, you could get tons of information all at once.
So I'm saying aloud what they're saying, but I have no idea what they mean.
Okay, so you are doing that. So you are connecting with them and channeling them.
I'm talking their language. I recorded it even, but I don't know what to do with that either.
That sounds perfect. Keep doing that. And and then see how you feel. Try to allow it to just come through, maybe at different times, and then start noticing when it does come through and see if there's patterns. So this could be the linear part of you could like start making spreadsheets and analyzing things if that's what you want to do, and you can start seeing when they do come through and at what times, and then find the patterns. And they may be doing this. I find that people who are like, I need proof, they're like, okay, we will create algorithms for you as long as you like need the proof so you can find the patterns, and then you will prove to yourself what's happening, and then you can go in deeper, and then they might start communicating with you. But my sense is that especially if it feels a little bit maybe galactic, that they're basically giving you downloads, right? So once you start sort of noticing, accepting, and paying attention, when this light language comes through, sort of tune into your body and how you're feeling. See if if you feel lighter or brighter, if you feel more aligned, and allow yourself to actually experience the light language that's coming through you, because in a way that is you bringing in healing through you and for the space around you. And to see how you feel, to see if your body also wants to move around when it's coming through, because light language can also be signed, like in like sign language. It can also be written down. So it sounds like, this is a really big, huge gift. And if it feels good, I say accept it and just let it in.
I do.
Yeah.
Whatever. But it'd be nice to know what they were saying, especially if it's good stuff.
Right. We have to remember that light language, even if you do get a translation, it's like the tip of the iceberg. It is so much more than what's translated. It's happening multiple levels of your bodies, like all the levels of your body are receiving this. So you could absolutely be doing light language this year, and maybe you haven't gotten COVID because you've allowed yourself to do light language and it's been protecting you and healing you, and you just have no idea. So a lot of light language is about massive amounts of trust. Not like you don't have any idea, but the universal you may have no idea. Just to be clear, that wasn't a like at you.
Okay. Just trust the universe, or trust the voices.
Well, it's really about, like, this is for anybody, right? When especially people that have had trauma, about surrendering, and you ask yourself, well, who am I giving my what am I surrendering to? It's like you want to trust the universe when you understand that you are the universe and that the universe is within you. So what you're really being asked to do is to stand in your power, hold your space, and trust and have complete faith in yourself. That's why it's hard.
So, okay. So they're not going to knock me up on the side of the head and say I'm not doing it right, or not doing what they want me to do. Doesn't sound like it. No.
Nope, they're going to say, we love you, we love you.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah, great. Thank you.
I'm curious about what you just said right there. That's what I hear.
Yeah. When but I don't, the I love you, I hear without actually words coming through my mouth. But that's what I hear all the time, is that I love you, I love you. So I know there's beings around me all the time telling me that. So, but of course it could be in the foreign language that I don't understand. That could be there, but I wouldn't understand it.
I would stop calling it a foreign language that you don't understand and call it light language, or the language of your soul, or your soul song, and that you are remembering it and that you know it.
Okay.
Because if you're working on claircognizance, then what can happen is it just will come through. There will be light language that comes in, and then you'll just know.
Okay. Don't make it so separate.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
All right, great. Other practitioners, do you have something else to share with Judith? In whatever order. Yeah, Marcia and Wyatt and Thorne.
Sure, I can share.
Great.
I think that both of them are absolutely right. That maybe the reason why you aren't getting an answer is because you're so hung up on the answer. So if you allow yourself to be healed by that, and the way it works is a little bit different than what you might think. You really don't need to understand the language in order for the language to work all of its magic. So it's all about vibration, about the tones of those words, about the resonance that it creates inside your body. So certain things that you're doing are shifting your cells around, allowing them to open, allowing toxins to flow out. It's amazing. But you don't need an interpretation for it in order for all of that to happen. So and I'm telling you this because I'm triple earth and an earth trine, grand trine. So there's so much earth in me, it's ridiculous, and it's hard for me to understand these things, but I've had to go about it in a really concrete way. So I've been told that this is how it happens.
Great.
Specifically by Jesus and Archangel Michael when I channeled them through hypnosis. So yeah, let go of having to know, but really let yourself into how good it feels. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Marcia. All right, Wyatt or Thorne, do you want to? Go ahead, Thorne.
Question. Sorry, say again. So can you, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, found you. I made you big. Can you repeat the question? Okay, so thank you, Laureli. And so I wanted to offer a bit of tidbits. So you having different voices coming in through you. And so, and you've been asking what and who and where from and how that's connected and trying to identify. And so it's important to know how to interact with them. And so you don't want to guess because you could be making mistakes. And so it'd be best to ask, for instance, and so how am I connecting in with that voice? So how am I connecting in with that energy? And so how do I begin to understand? Like giving yourself time to breathe and to relax and focus on a voice. Maybe you can differentiate them. Maybe you can't differentiate them. And so you can tell them that they need to be patient, perhaps, and then speak one at a time. And so it's important also to have boundaries as you practice. And so you want to, enforce your boundaries as you interact with them. You want to be very respectful of them. And so my experience so far, working with different spirits and different beings, I've learned that it's okay to enforce boundaries. And so you want to know who you're talking with. You want to filter out maybe, tricksters and things like that. And so also doing some grounding work. So I just wanted to add that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great, thank you. Wyatt, is there anything else you want to add?
I really don't have anything right now. But thanks for the question, Judith.
Judith, do you want to say anything about your answers or like what your thoughts are about it now or like any other question about it that's arising?
Well, it's just going to help me let go and not try to figure it out and accept and think positive about it. Yeah. But I think, I do sometimes say not now or right now because it's like they're, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I guess just accept and get to know them better and see. And thank you for saying it's a gift. That helps too. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I have a quick thought. Have you, when you are, I don't know if you're repeating what you're hearing that they're saying, or if are you just allowing it to come through and then you're saying it?
I'm talking in their foreign language.
Okay. So have you asked
Or
them?
they're like,
have you asked them to, like, you can now that we've talked about this, you can intend for it to be light language. You can intend for it to come out in song, which completely shifts the vibration, so it might make you feel better. So they might sing song the language to and through you, and they will do that, right? And then once you get more comfortable with it, you can play with it, and when it comes through, sometimes it might be sing-songy, and then sometimes it might be really fast. And when you understand that what you're doing is that you are the crystal bowls, you are the channel that is the sound instrument, and that you are using your skull to make these noises off of your skull and your bones, that it is vibrating through your whole body, and it is allowing you to bring this gift through you that is absolutely healing you. So if you go in with that intention and see that you are basically your own healing symphony, they will come in and they will make noises and sounds and clicks and tones that will be very healing.
Wow.
And that will be something to play with.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've sang before, but I haven't gone with it. So,
Yeah, do that, because that's like that shifts the vibration completely. And so a negative being's not going to come in and sing to you. They're just not going to do it. But so you're always safe if you're singing.
singing. All right, keep singing. Huh? Great, great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Very positive. Thank you.
Great, great. Thank you. So thank you, the 3 people that asked questions tonight. This was lovely. I'm going to, let's see, I put in the chat again, if you'd like to be entered into a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice, please fill out the feedback form. So the link is right there in the chat. If you'd like to contribute a tip to Sharon, our interpreter, please go ahead. You can pay with PayPal or Venmo, or just reach out to me in chat if you're having trouble with any of those, and we'll find another way to take that from you. Yeah, so thank you so much for your energetic contributions of being here, holding the space with all of us, being curious. Yeah, it's lovely. And so we're going to have all the practitioners go around and share again about who we are, what we do, and how you can get in touch with us on the web. So yeah, let's have Thorne go first while the internet is working, and then we'll go around and we'll all share briefly on the way out. Well, yeah, we hope to see you again, and I'll put the links in the chat for all of our upcoming events too. So maybe, yeah, Thorne, if you can share first, just remind us again about what you do and how people can get in touch with you. That'd be great.
See, I lost
He's frozen on my end.
Ooh, he just froze again. All right. Well, we will get that started again at some point. I put Thorne's information in the chat too. So when Thorne is back in, Thorne will share then. All right, and I'll put Satora's in again also, even though she took off. So you have that in the chat. Well, all right, practitioners, who else wants to go now? Someone jump in, or I get to call on you.
I just want to tell you, I tried to go to PayPal and it says, sorry, I can't go there. And now I can't get back onto Zoom, although I can still hear you.
Oh, we can still see you. So go ahead. Oh, by the way, wherever you go to the Zoom app on your, so I sent you an email, Judith, by the way, so don't worry about it. I sent you an email. And if I haven't heard back from you, either where you've paid or by email, I've got your phone number now too. So I'll reach out to you another way. So don't worry about that. Oh, but if you go to wherever the Zoom app is on your phone, so however you get to Zoom.
It's my computer.
Oh, on your computer. Yeah. So go to, yeah. Are you on a Mac or a PC?
PC.
Probably on the bottom left. Is that where you still like connect to all the different things? If you just go to Zoom as if you're going into Zoom again, and that might enable you to see us again.
Got it. Thank you.
Great. Sure. Okay, great. No, yeah, and Thorne is sharing there. Oh, Thorne is back. Hold on. Let's have Thorne share first. All right, Thorne, Sharon, go for it.
All right. Okay, go ahead. And so to summarize, so I do ancestry work I spirit energy. I do many different types of modalities, and so I put my information on the chat there, and so you can go ahead and contact me if you want a session in a private room on Zoom. We can do that on video, and so I have a sliding scale for my fee, and so we can set that up. They have a fixed price as well, and so you have that option, and so we can match your needs, and so I'm excited to see more about you guys.
Oh, and could we say out loud also how to get in touch with Thorne so that people that are watching the video or listening to the video, I guess, could get it also?
So people
Find it.
get your information also. And so you can email to Instagram. On the internet, you can do that. And so my contact. So I'm not on Facebook, so you're not going to find me on Facebook. And so the best, the three-way. Can you explain again the three ways?
I think I can say it. So the
Okay.
website is spiritoracle.com.
Okay, so he's frozen again.
It's okay, I got
Okay,
it.
go ahead.
Instagram is at Heart of Oak 8. No, yeah, it's at sign Heart of Oak 8. And then the email is heartofoak8@gmail.com.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah, if you could sign that, Sharon, can you sign those? They're in the chat. They're not too far up in the chat if you want to.
Okay, so Instagram and website. I think I have it.
You think you got it?
And email is heartofoak88@gmail.com.
Great, thank you. All right, great. So then Galactic Ashley, Wyatt, Marcia, go ahead and share.
I'll go. I am Galactic Ashley. Well, that was the question, right? Yeah. I'm Galactic Ashley. I channel divine guidance for star seeds, connecting them to their star families and galactic lineages. I use light language frequencies and work with your cosmic connections to facilitate high frequency healing transmissions and encoded activations. I have a few specials. If you want to email me, you can get a hold of me at info@galacticashley.com.
Yeah, Galactic Ashley, I put your specials from a few days ago in the thing. I hope those are right.
All good.
Great. Yeah, it's Wyatt and Marcia. And say who you are and how people, what you do and how people can get in touch with you.
Hi everyone, I'm Wyatt. I'm a shamanism life coach. I blend the ancient practices of shamanism and the modern practices of life coaching to help you, my clients, begin or move forward with your path of healing. I have a few specials going on right now. If you just head over to my website, get into contact with me, thewildwoodhollow.com or thewildwoodhollow@gmail.com. I am super excited to work with you guys. Thanks for coming tonight.
Thanks, Wyatt. Marcia.
I'm Marcia Colver, and I'm on Facebook on Channeling Divine with Marcia Colver, and you can also find me on my personal Facebook page. It's pretty public anyway. I'm on Instagram and YouTube and such things as Instagram is Marcia Ann, I think. But you can find me on my website at marciacolver.com. And I do all kinds of different healing work, shamanism, channeling. And one of the things that I'm most known for is my singing work, my vibrational healing through singing. So thanks everyone for being here, and thanks everyone for asking questions. It was so much fun.
Great, thanks so much. And Thorne, I wanted you to know that while you were out last time, I spoke and Sharon interpreted all of your contact info, so that's in the recording. And then, so I'm Laureli Shimayo. I'm an intuitive eye reader, a body psychology coach, and an emotional energy healer. I also run these MeWe fairs. So you can find me, information about me, at laurelishimayo.com. It's LAURELISHIMAYO. And I can, Sharon, I can put that in the chat if you want to. And say my intuitive eye readings work, you can find at thrivetypes.com. That's THRIVETYPES.com. And you can learn more about the MeWe fairs at MEWEFAIRS.com. That website has information about the fairs and the panels and all the different events that we do. There are interviews with our practitioners, and we have a YouTube channel too, where you can see lots of past events, and you can see this event very soon up there as well. All right, great. Thank you everyone so much for joining us. Again, if you haven't filled out the feedback form, I'll put it in the chat one more time so you can get entered into a free, into a drawing for a free 30-minute session with one of us of your choice for all the people that were on the panel tonight. Well, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you at more panels, and just thank you for creating this with us all together. Thanks everyone. Oh, and yeah, Satora, I just want to say Satora was also on the panel tonight. She does energy healing, intuitive guidance with ascended masters and angels. She uses the Tara approach to trauma resolution, and you can find her at freesatora@gmail.com. That's FREESATORA@gmail.com. Her number is 360-481-8716. Lovely channeling and healing work with her. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.